How did weather shape medieval society? Tonight, as darkness has fallen, all worries seem to fade away. Close your eyes and let this voice guide you, beyond the rushing currents of time, back to a quiet corner of history, where events unfold slowly and tiny details weave together the tapestry of the past. Today we journey far into the past to listen to the rhythm of time, the cyclical nature of weather and the silent social structures of the medieval era. Take a deep, gentle breath, and step into the world of medieval society as a whole. The weather remains the same through different periods of history. It still begins with spring. The eternal rhythm of spring, rebirth and constancy through time. Throughout countless eras across civilizations that have risen and fallen, one truth remains unchanged: the rhythm of the seasons. It continues to cycle through primordial laws, and in this eternal sequence, spring always holds a special place, as a symphony heralding renewal. From the dawn of humanity, through the golden peaks of ancient empires, the turbulent medieval ages, to the complexity of the modern world, spring carries the breath of transformation, an undying message of life. Spring, with its seemingly quiet beginning, harbors immense latent power. Without sudden upheaval or violent storms, it arrives gently, quietly like a breath. Yet within this calm lies the genesis of a powerful rebirth. This is the moment when nature begins to prepare, nurturing seeds of life after a long winter slumber. This silence is not stillness but a profound pause, the slow heartbeat of a waking earth, awaiting the right time to bloom. Beneath the moist soil, roots stretch out silently, flower buds whisper open, and the sap of life circulates in secret, all signaling an inevitable transformation. After months of freezing cold, with ice and snow blanketing every path and leafless trees standing bare, spring gradually creeps in, like a cherished friend returning from a long journey. Unhurried and gentle, it brings with it the breath of renewal to every corner of the earth and sky. The air seems lighter, fresher, infused with the subtle fragrance of moist soil and newly sprouted buds. The sun no longer scorches nor hides in weakness, but shines warmly, golden rays weaving through treetops and warming the damp land below. This is a delicate transition, a long-awaited seasonal interlude felt by all living beings. The first green sprouts emerging from the damp earth are the most magical image of spring. These tiny specks of green, though small, embody fierce vitality, pushing through the cold soil to reach the light. They symbolize more than just a new beginning for plants. They are icons of hope for the entire natural world and humanity alike. They herald a bountiful harvest for farmers, new food sources for animals, and a fresh, vibrant landscape for every observer. Watching those sprouts rise, people often feel inspired, reminded of the strength to overcome hardship, the resilience, and the power of life itself. Dewdrops still cling to blades of grass, shimmering like thousands of tiny diamonds under the soft morning light. This scene is not only breathtaking but also instills a sense of serenity and quietude. The misty fog softens the lingering chill of the winter night, and as the sun rises, it melts into the soil, nourishing life. These dewdrops are proof of nature's purity, symbols of a fresh, unburdened beginning. Every breath of the crisp, dewy spring air brings a sense of renewal, as if cleansing the soul. In nature's awakening symphony, the gentle murmur of a flowing stream adds its own steady rhythm, a whisper of the wild. Crystal clear water winds through rocks and under leaves, bringing coolness and vitality wherever it flows. The sound of the stream is not loud or boisterous, yet it soothes every worry, offering peace and calm. It is the sound of life in motion, of time in cycle, of a world in constant movement. In many cultures, the stream is a symbol of purity, continuity, and the ever-flowing current of existence. Spring's influence extends beyond scenery and sound. It profoundly affects human emotions and behavior. After a long winter of staying indoors, people become more active and energized when spring arrives. Festivals to welcome spring and the new agricultural season have been held for millennia across the world, honoring life and wishing for good fortune. From sowing seeds in medieval agrarian societies to launching new plans and ventures in the modern era, spring has always been a wellspring of inspiration. It sparks hope, optimism, and a deep yearning to create and contribute. No matter how time passes, no matter how humans build grand cities or invent extraordinary technologies, the rhythm of spring endures. It is a reminder of the greatness and permanence of nature, of a cycle that never ceases, carrying with it the message of resilience and the regenerative power of life. Spring is not merely a season, it is an eternal symbol, an inexhaustible source of renewal for each of us. Silent spring, when life awakens to the rhythm of time. Despite the ebb and flow of history and the advances of humankind, the rhythm of the seasons remains astonishingly unchanged. Spring in particular always marks a beginning, a symbol of rebirth and renewal that has endlessly repeated through the ages from ancient times to the modern day. It is not merely a shift in climate, but a law of nature, an eternal cycle where humans continuously find comfort and hope. After the frigid days of winter, when nature seems to have fallen into a deep slumber, spring arrives with the breath of life. Not noisy, not rushed, spring gently weaves its way in, delicately signaling a new beginning. On bare branches, the first signs of life quietly emerge. Tender buds begin to open, tiny yet vibrant, breaking through the hardened shell of winter to reach for the first rays of the new season's sun. Each bud is a promise, a testament to nature's relentless capacity for rebirth and growth. Alongside these budding signs, the chirping of birds echoes from afar, not loud, just enough to remind us that life is stirring once more. It's not a grand symphony, but a few lingering notes, like nature's soft invitation after a long silence. The morning birdsong of spring carries freshness and peace, an unmistakable sign that a new life cycle is beginning. We can feel the world shifting with every small sound, every gentle vibration in the air. Inside homes, where people have waited patiently, preparations for a new growing season quietly begin, full of care and hope. Seeds are carefully incubated under ideal conditions, awaiting the perfect moment to be sown. This is a time-honored tradition, reflecting the deep connection between humans and nature, between diligent labor and faith in a bountiful harvest. Each seed holds the potential of life itself, and the act of preparing them is both a ritual and a careful investment in the future. Everything unfolds slowly just as time intends. There is no rush, no force. All things follow natural laws, a sequence laid out over millions of years. This slowness is not stagnation but patience, an attentive, intuitive alignment with the rhythm of the earth and sky. Humans learn to blend with this tempo, to respect and adapt to it. The waiting and care in every action reflect a philosophy of living close to nature, where harmony and balance reign supreme. Spring's transformation goes beyond physical change. It deeply affects the human mind and spirit. After a dreary, cold winter, the arrival of spring brings excitement and optimism. People become more energetic, more creative, more open to new experiences. The fresh energy of nature seems to seep into every cell, awakening dormant potential. Spring is an endless source of inspiration for artists, poets, and lovers of beauty. It compels them to create, to capture life's exquisite moments. Poems, songs, and paintings about spring are always filled with vitality, freshness, and hope. They reflect the human joy of witnessing the revival of all things, the blossoming of love and life. Throughout history, from ancient civilizations to modern society, spring has always held a special place. It is celebrated in songs, poetry, festivals, and stands as a symbol of new beginnings, of love and hope. In every era, people have found profound meaning in spring, messages of resilience and the ability to overcome hardship and reach for the light. Looking back at the cycle of the seasons, we realize that no matter how much the world changes, no matter how advanced technology becomes, the fundamental laws of nature continue to operate unfailingly. Spring's return is a reminder of the stability and eternal beauty of the natural world, a beauty that humans must always cherish and protect. It is more than just a season. It is a symbol, an inexhaustible source of inspiration for our lives. So, have we ever truly paused to listen to the whispers of spring, to fully feel the renewal it brings? The medieval spring, when fields awaken and life slows down. In the vast canvas of the Middle Ages, where life was deeply intertwined with nature and the unchanging cycles of the earth and sky, spring was more than just a change in weather, it was the breath of a culture, a rhythm of life. Medieval spring carried a unique beauty, subtle and meaningful, far different from our modern perception of a vibrant and bustling season. It was a time of waiting, of preparation, evoking a sense of peace, repetition, and stability, core values that shaped human life in that era. Imagine a spring morning in a medieval village. The fields are still quiet, untouched by the hustle of plowing and sowing. Instead, a tender green hue from newly sprouted grass blankets the land like a soft carpet stretching to the horizon. This isn't the brilliant green of ripening crops or blooming flowers, but the green of beginnings, of silent life pushing upward after a long winter slumber. Though gentle, this green carries a latent vitality, heralding a promising season ahead. The air still holds a trace of early morning chill, mingled with the scent of damp earth and fresh grass, creating an atmosphere both tranquil and pure. People prepare the land with patience, without haste. Unlike the rushed tempo of modern society in medieval times, all activities followed the rhythm of nature. There were no modern machines, no time pressure. Every agricultural task was done by human hands and simple tools. Preparing the soil was a lengthy process, demanding patience and care. They plowed with wooden plows pulled by oxen or cattle, leveled the rows and cleared away remnants of winter. Each movement carried a ritualistic quality, reflecting respect for Mother Earth and a belief in the blessings of nature. This unhurried pace was not laziness, but a deep understanding of the land's rhythm and the right moment to sow and reap. Medieval spring was a time of waiting. It was a communal season of watching for nature's signs. The melting of snow, the return of migratory birds, and the sprouting of trees, all were signals of the new agricultural cycle. This waiting was not passive. It was alert, involving both psychological and physical readiness. Everyone knew that the success or failure of the crops, and thus the survival of the entire village, depended greatly on the weather and wise decisions during this period. Together, they prayed for a bountiful harvest and performed ancient rituals to drive away evil spirits and bless the fields. At the same time, spring was also a time of preparation for the coming cycles. It wasn't just about the upcoming harvest season, but the entire year. This was when homes were repaired, tools restored, and food stores readied. Small-scale handicrafts also became more active, producing necessary goods for daily life. For medieval people, life followed a repeated cycle. The harsh cold of winter, the renewal of spring, the growth of summer, and the harvest of autumn. Spring was the most crucial link, the starting point that ensured the continuity and sustainability of life. Because of these characteristics, the medieval spring brought a deep sense of peace. This peace was not the absence of labor, but harmony with nature, and an acceptance of life's inherent rules. It was an inner calm, a sense of security found in the predictable cycle of the seasons. knowing that after each harsh winter, spring would surely come again. This peace was also rooted in community bonds. People worked together, shared hardships and hopes, forming a strong thread of unity. The repetition of spring year after year did not breed monotony. On the contrary, it brought a sense of safety and familiarity. In a world filled with instability, medieval people found comfort in the returning seasons. Each year they could count on spring to bring familiar sights, fresh green shoots, birdsong, and longer days. This repetition laid a steady foundation for their lives, helping them predict and prepare for the future. Ultimately, medieval spring was also a symbol of stability. In a society where change often meant chaos and war, the constancy of nature's cycles was vital in maintaining social order. Spring's reliable return affirmed that despite political upheavals or natural disasters, life would go on. It was a reminder of nature's resilience and humanity's capacity to adapt. This stability was both material and spiritual, helping people maintain faith in life and the future. In conclusion, medieval spring was not merely a climatic phenomenon. It was a promise of rebirth, a lesson in patience, and a foundation for stability. It shaped how people lived, worked, and related to one another, painting a vivid picture of an era where the rhythm of nature was the guiding compass of all activity. In today's chaotic modern world, perhaps we too can learn something from the quietude and patience of the medieval spring. The sun-kissed embrace, summer's gentle flourish. As spring gracefully bows out, summer arrives, ushering in a period of warmth and vibrant growth that transforms the landscape and infuses everything with a renewed sense of vitality. The subtle shifts in the air, the lengthening days, and the increasing warmth all signal the arrival of this bountiful season. It's a time when nature, having awakened and blossomed in spring, now matures and flourishes under the sun's gentle gaze. The most striking visual testament to summer's embrace is often the rice fields, which are now lush and vibrant green. Gone are the nascent shoots of spring. In their place stand robust stalks, heavy with the promise of future harvests. These fields stretch across the plains, an expansive tapestry of verdant growth, shimmering under the summer sky. As gentle breezes sweep across the land, the rice plants sway rhythmically, creating mesmerizing waves of lush green. It's a hypnotic dance, a visual symphony that speaks of abundance and the tireless efforts of nature. Each stalk, each blade, contributes to this magnificent display, a testament to the life-giving power of the sun and the nourishing embrace of the earth. The sight is not merely beautiful, it's a living testament to the ongoing cycle of life, a promise of sustenance and prosperity. The sunlight that bathes everything is now soft and diffused, a stark contrast to the sharp, sometimes harsh glare of later summer or the timid emergence of spring's first rays. It's not a scorching heat but a gentle warmth, just enough to nurture life without overwhelming it. This golden glow permeates the air, casting a warm hue over the landscape, making everything seem softer, more inviting. It's the kind of light that encourages plants to reach for the sky, that ripens fruits, and that warms the very soil, coaxing out its hidden treasures. This benevolent sunlight fosters growth, promoting photosynthesis, and ensuring that every plant, every tree, every blade of grass receives the energy it needs to thrive. It's a perfect balance, a testament to nature's precise timing and harmonious rhythm. Beyond the fields, the impact of summer's gentle warmth is palpable throughout the natural world. Trees stand tall, their canopies thick with vibrant leaves, providing shade and shelter. Flowers that bloomed in spring now give way to an even richer display, their petals unfurling in a riot of colors, attracting bees and butterflies in a bustling symphony of life. The air is often filled with the gentle hum of insects, a sign of a thriving ecosystem. Birds flit between branches, their songs filling the morning air, celebrating the abundance of the season. This period of gentle warmth and consistent growth also brings with it a sense of calm and stability. Unlike the often unpredictable weather of spring, summer settles into a more predictable pattern. Days are long, allowing ample time for growth and for the natural world to perform its intricate dance. The warmth seeps into the evenings, making for pleasant outdoor gatherings and the lingering scent of blooming plants. For human communities, this particular phase of summer is often a period of relative ease before the intensity of harvest season. It's a time for anticipation, for watching the crops mature, for preparing for the bountiful yield that is to come. The gentle sunlight and consistent warmth allow for steady progress in agricultural endeavors, ensuring that the hard work of spring will soon bear fruit. It's a time for growth not only in the literal sense of plants but also in the figurative sense, as communities flourish and thrive under the benevolent gaze of the summer sun. As the weeks progress and summer fully entrenches itself, the intensity of the sun might increase, and the days might become hotter, leading to the full ripeness of harvest. But this early to midsummer phase, characterized by its gentle warmth and the soft, nurturing sunlight, stands out as a period of ideal growth and vibrant flourishing. It's a moment when the earth seems to breathe out a sigh of contentment, and life unfolds in its most abundant and beautiful form. It's a reminder of nature's endless cycle, of its capacity for renewal and its unwavering commitment to growth, all orchestrated by the consistent rhythm of the seasons and the unwavering embrace of the sun. This period of early summer, with its delicate balance of warmth and light, serves as a crucial bridge between the fresh beginnings of spring and the abundant culmination of late summer. It's a testament to the intricate choreography of nature, where every element plays its part in fostering life and ensuring the continuity of the natural world. The verdant rice fields, the gentle breezes, and the nurturing sunlight combine to create a landscape of serene beauty and vibrant growth, a true embodiment of summer's gentle flourish. The rhythmic tapestry of a medieval summer, life unfolding in harmony. In the tranquil, sun-drenched days of a medieval summer, life unfurled with a deliberate, unhurried grace. Unlike the bustling, often chaotic pace of modern existence, every action, every sound, every moment seemed to be part of a larger, harmonious rhythm. This was a world where time was dictated not by clocks and schedules, but by the sun's gentle arc across the sky, the changing seasons, and the intrinsic needs of the land. Within the small gardens clustered around each dwelling, a vibrant symphony of life was taking shape. These weren't merely plots of land for sustenance. They were miniature ecosystems, meticulously tended and deeply cherished. Here, vegetables and herbs thrived in lush abundance, their verdant leaves glistening under the summer sun. One could imagine rows of broad beans climbing skyward, their delicate white and purple flowers hinting at the nourishing pods to come. Hardy cabbages, their leaves a deep, inviting green, spread wide across the soil, while slender carrots and parsnips burrowed deep, drawing sustenance from the rich earth. The people of this era approached their work with a profound sense of connection to the land. Farmers and villagers cared for their crops and livestock with meticulous attention and unwavering patience. It was a hands-on, intimate relationship. There were no shortcuts, no quick fixes. Each seedling was planted with care, each furrow plowed with muscle and sweat. Weeds were pulled by hand, one by one, ensuring that the precious nutrients reached the desired plants. The rhythmic hoeing of the soil, the gentle watering from well or stream, the careful pruning of fruit trees, these were not just chores but rituals passed down through generations, embodying a deep respect for the cycle of growth. Livestock, too, received the same dedicated care. Chickens scratched and pecked in the dust, laying fresh eggs each morning. Goats grazed peacefully on nearby pastures, providing milk for cheese and butter. A solitary cow might be seen contentedly chewing its cud, its gentle lowing occasionally punctuating the quiet. The daily routines of milking, feeding, and mucking out pens were performed with an almost meditative focus, reflecting a profound understanding of the animal's needs and their vital role in the household economy. This meticulous attention ensured the health and productivity of both plants and animals, forming the backbone of their self-sufficient lives. As the sun climbed higher, casting long, shimmering shadows, the sounds of summer began to interweave into a captivating melody. The steady chirping of insects at midday, a persistent hum rising from the sun-warmed fields, became the underlying beat of the day. Grasshoppers whirred their wings, crickets sang their rhythmic tunes, and busy bees buzzed from flower to flower, gathering nectar. This intricate chorus of natural sounds was not an interruption. It was the very essence of the season. Adding to this natural orchestra was the gentle rustling of the wind through the leaves, a whispering counterpoint to the insect calls. Whether it was the soft sigh of the breeze through tall grass or the sibilant whisper of wind through ancient oak leaves, this sound evoked a sense of peace and continuity. Together, these elements created a harmonious symphony of summer, a backdrop against which the slow, deliberate pace of life unfolded. It was a soundtrack entirely free from the jarring cacophony of modern machinery or incessant electronic notifications. Indeed, everything unfolded at a slow, unhurried pace, devoid of any haste or urgency. There was no concept of rush hour or deadlines in the way we understand them today. Tasks were completed when they were completed, dictated by the rhythm of nature and the requirements of the day. If a storm was brewing, work might be paused to seek shelter. If a particular crop needed extra attention, other tasks would wait. This unhurried existence allowed for a deeper engagement with the present moment. People were more attuned to their surroundings, more aware of the subtle shifts in weather, the nuances of light, and the delicate balance of their environment. This slow pace fostered a different kind of human connection. Neighbors would often lend a hand with larger tasks, sharing stories and laughter as they worked. Evenings were spent in communal gatherings, sharing meals, telling tales, or simply enjoying the quiet companionship under a starlit sky. The lack of artificial distractions meant that human interaction was more genuine, more substantial. The medieval summer, therefore, was not just a season, it was a way of life. It was a testament to a time when humanity lived in closer harmony with the natural world, understanding and respecting its intrinsic rhythms. The diligent care of the land, the patient tending of animals, and the gentle, continuous symphony of nature all contributed to an existence marked by purpose, community, and a profound sense of connection to the earth. It was a reminder that true richness often lies not in speed or accumulation, but in the deliberate unfolding of life, one mindful moment at a time. The hushed hum of summer, tranquility and growth in the medieval village. As the sun climbed higher, casting long, lazy shadows, a profound stillness settled over the medieval village. This wasn't the silence of absence, but rather the hushed hum of summer, a gentle symphony woven from the subtle movements of life. The air hung thick and warm, imbued with the scent of burgeoning flora and the promise of abundance. It was a time of quiet industry, a period of unassuming growth and patient waiting, where every rustle of leaves and every distant bleat of a sheep underscored a deep sense of peace and impending fulfillment. Observe the bees, diligently, almost languidly, circling the wild blossoms. These weren't the frantic, buzzing hordes of a modern apiary, but solitary gatherers, each a tiny artisan engaged in the timeless craft of collecting nectar. Their flight path, a slow, deliberate dance from one vibrant head of clover to another, mirrored the unhurried pace of life itself in the medieval era. Each delicate landing, each probing foray into the heart of a flower, was a testament to the intricate balance of nature. The soft, rhythmic drone of their wings was a lullaby to the village, a sound that spoke of industriousness without haste, of purpose without urgency. It was a reminder that even the smallest creatures played a vital role in the grand tapestry of existence, their labor ensuring the sweetness that would sustain both human and animal alike through the leaner months. The midday air in the village seemed to hang suspended, thick and motionless, steeped in the gentle embrace of golden sunlight. This wasn't the harsh, blinding glare of high noon in a bustling city, but a diffused, benevolent warmth that bathed everything in a soft, ethereal glow. The very notion of time seemed to slow, stretching out like the long shadows cast by the thatched roofs and sturdy oak trees. Sounds, usually distinct, became muffled, absorbed by the pervasive warmth and the quietude. The distant clang of a blacksmith's hammer, the faint murmur of voices from the fields, even the playful shouts of children, were all softened, blending into a background hum that was more felt than heard. It was a moment of profound tranquility, a silent pause in the ceaseless rhythm of agricultural life, where the sun itself seemed to pause, basking in its own warmth. Medieval summer was not a time of frenzied activity or dramatic upheaval. Instead, it was a period characterized by quiet development, a subtle ripening of the seeds sown in spring. The fields, once barren and then tender with new shoots, were now a vibrant tapestry of green, promising future harvests. This growth was not flamboyant. It was an internal, organic process, happening largely out of sight, beneath the soil and within the burgeoning plants. The villagers, having toiled through the demanding spring planting, now entered a phase of patient anticipation, tending to their crops, weeding their gardens and mending their tools. Their efforts were focused on nurturing what they had already begun, ensuring its healthy maturation. This era was marked by a deep-seated understanding of cycles, of the intrinsic connection between human endeavor and the unpredictable dictates of nature. There was no instant gratification, no quick fixes. Every stage of life, from the planting of a seed to the harvesting of a crop, demanded time, resilience, and unwavering faith in the natural order. The seemingly slow progress of summer was, in fact, a crucial period of intense, albeit often unseen, development. It was a time for careful observation, for discerning the needs of the land and adapting to its rhythms. The prevailing atmosphere was one of calm abundance and profound sufficiency. Even if the larder wasn't overflowing, there was a sense that the fundamental needs would be met. The gardens yielded their bounty, the livestock grazed contentedly, and the natural world offered its gifts. This feeling of enoughness wasn't born from excessive wealth, but from a profound connection to the land and a communal spirit. People found contentment in the simple things: the taste of fresh produce, the warmth of the sun on their skin, the camaraderie of shared labor. This tranquility wasn't born from idleness, but from a profound appreciation for the natural rhythm of life. The villagers understood that some things simply could not be rushed. The sun would warm the earth at its own pace, the rains would fall when they chose, and the crops would ripen in their own time. This acceptance of nature's immutable laws fostered a deep sense of inner peace. There was a quiet dignity in their daily routines, a satisfaction in knowing that their efforts, though incremental, were contributing to the well-being of their families and their community. The summer of the medieval period, therefore, was far more than just a season. It was a philosophy of living, a testament to the human capacity for patience, resilience, and harmony with the natural world. It was a time when the hum of bees, the stillness of the air, and the golden embrace of the sun all conspired to create a feeling of profound peace, a sense of quiet contentment that echoed through the very fabric of medieval life. It was a lesson in the beauty of unhurried growth and the deep satisfaction that comes from patiently nurturing the seeds of hope, waiting for the inevitable blossoming of harvest. The sun-kissed embrace, summer's gentle flourish. As spring gracefully bows out, summer arrives, ushering in a period of warmth and vibrant growth that transforms the landscape and infuses everything with a renewed sense of vitality. The subtle shifts in the air, the lengthening days, and the increasing warmth all signal the arrival of this bountiful season. It's a time when nature, having awakened and blossomed in spring, now matures and flourishes under the sun's gentle gaze. The most striking visual testament to summer's embrace is often the rice fields, which are now lush and vibrant green. Gone are the nascent shoots of spring. In their place stand robust stalks, heavy with the promise of future harvests. These fields stretch across the plains, an expansive tapestry of verdant growth, shimmering under the summer sky. As gentle breezes sweep across the land, the rice plants sway rhythmically, creating mesmerizing waves of lush green. It's a hypnotic dance, a visual symphony that speaks of abundance and the tireless efforts of nature. Each stalk, each blade, contributes to this magnificent display, a testament to the life-giving power of the sun and the nourishing embrace of the earth. The sight is not merely beautiful, it's a living testament to the ongoing cycle of life, a promise of sustenance and prosperity. The sunlight that bathes everything is now soft and diffused, a stark contrast to the sharp, sometimes harsh glare of later summer or the timid emergence of spring's first rays. It's not a scorching heat but a gentle warmth, just enough to nurture life without overwhelming it. This golden glow permeates the air, casting a warm hue over the landscape, making everything seem softer, more inviting. It's the kind of light that encourages plants to reach for the sky, that ripens fruits, and that warms the very soil, coaxing out its hidden treasures. This benevolent sunlight fosters growth, promoting photosynthesis, and ensuring that every plant, every tree, every blade of grass receives the energy it needs to thrive. It's a perfect balance, a testament to nature's precise timing and harmonious rhythm. Beyond the fields, the impact of summer's gentle warmth is palpable throughout the natural world. Trees stand tall, their canopies thick with vibrant leaves, providing shade and shelter. Flowers that bloomed in spring now give way to an even richer display, their petals unfurling in a riot of colors, attracting bees and butterflies in a bustling symphony of life. The air is often filled with the gentle hum of insects, a sign of a thriving ecosystem. Birds flit between branches, their songs filling the morning air, celebrating the abundance of the season. This period of gentle warmth and consistent growth also brings with it a sense of calm and stability. Unlike the often unpredictable weather of spring, summer settles into a more predictable pattern. Days are long, allowing ample time for growth and for the natural world to perform its intricate dance. The warmth seeps into the evenings, making for pleasant outdoor gatherings and the lingering scent of blooming plants. For human communities, this particular phase of summer is often a period of relative ease before the intensity of harvest season. It's a time for anticipation, for watching the crops mature, for preparing for the bountiful yield that is to come. The gentle sunlight and consistent warmth allow for steady progress in agricultural endeavors, ensuring that the hard work of spring will soon bear fruit. It's a time for growth not only in the literal sense of plants but also in the figurative sense, as communities flourish and thrive under the benevolent gaze of the summer sun. As the weeks progress and summer fully entrenches itself, the intensity of the sun might increase, and the days might become hotter, leading to the full ripeness of harvest. But this early to midsummer phase, characterized by its gentle warmth and the soft, nurturing sunlight, stands out as a period of ideal growth and vibrant flourishing. It's a moment when the earth seems to breathe out a sigh of contentment, and life unfolds in its most abundant and beautiful form. It's a reminder of nature's endless cycle, of its capacity for renewal and its unwavering commitment to growth, all orchestrated by the consistent rhythm of the seasons and the unwavering embrace of the sun. This period of early summer, with its delicate balance of warmth and light, serves as a crucial bridge between the fresh beginnings of spring and the abundant culmination of late summer. It's a testament to the intricate choreography of nature, where every element plays its part in fostering life and ensuring the continuity of the natural world. The verdant rice fields, the gentle breezes, and the nurturing sunlight combine to create a landscape of serene beauty and vibrant growth, a true embodiment of summer's gentle flourish. Autumn's embrace, a season of harvest, reflection, and enduring cycles. As the vibrant energy of summer begins to wane, a gentle transition ushers in autumn's tranquil embrace. The intense heat mellows, replaced by a pleasantly crisp coolness that invigorates the senses. This isn't the harsh bite of winter, but rather a comforting coolness that invites long walks, warm drinks, and a sense of peaceful contemplation. It's a time when nature, having poured its life force into growth, now prepares for a period of rest and renewal. One of the most iconic images of this transition is the rice fields, now ripened to a shimmering golden hue. This transformation is more than just a change in color. It's a profound visual announcement of a bountiful harvest. Each stalk, once a vibrant green, has absorbed the sun's energy throughout the summer, nurturing the developing grains within. The sight of these vast golden expanses stretching towards the horizon evokes a deep sense of satisfaction and completion. It's a landscape painted with the promise of sustenance, a testament to the earth's generosity. Within these golden fields, the heavy, pregnant rice grains droop, their weight a testament to their fullness. They hang low, almost bowing in reverence, patiently awaiting their collection. Each grain represents countless hours of dedication, from the initial sowing of seeds in the spring to the vigilant care throughout the summer months. The gentle swaying of these heavily laden stalks in the autumn breeze is a silent symphony of readiness, a quiet hum of nature's abundance. This moment of readiness is the culmination of diligent labor and enduring perseverance over time. The farmer's journey is intrinsically linked to the cycles of nature. It's a story of early mornings and late evenings, of battling pests and unpredictable weather, of hope and resilience. The golden fields are not just a natural phenomenon. They are a monument to human effort, a tangible representation of the fruits of hard work. The act of bringing in the harvest is a deeply rooted tradition, connecting generations to the land and to each other. It's a time for communities to come together, to share the load, and to celebrate the rewards of their collective efforts. Beyond the agricultural significance, autumn also marks a shift in our psychological landscape. The long, bright days of summer give way to shorter daylight hours and longer, cooler nights. This change encourages a more introspective mood, a turning inward. We begin to seek comfort in our homes, to appreciate the warmth of a fire or a cozy blanket. The vibrant social energy of summer often subsides, replaced by a desire for quieter moments, for reflection and introspection. This natural slowdown allows us to recharge, to process the experiences of the past seasons, and to prepare for the dormancy of winter. The beauty of autumn extends beyond the fields. Trees transform into breathtaking palettes of reds, oranges, and yellows, their leaves putting on a spectacular show before their inevitable fall. This vibrant display serves as a poignant reminder of life's transient nature, of the constant cycle of growth, decay, and renewal. The crisp air carries the earthy scent of fallen leaves, a comforting aroma that evokes memories and a sense of nostalgia. Walks in the woods become magical experiences, with sunlight filtering through the canopy of colorful leaves, creating dappled patterns on the forest floor. Culturally, autumn is a season rich with traditions and celebrations. Many cultures around the world observe harvest festivals during this time, expressing gratitude for the earth's bounty and celebrating community. These festivals often involve feasting, dancing, and storytelling, reinforcing the bonds between people and their connection to the land. From Thanksgiving in North America to Mid-Autumn Festival in Asia, the theme of gratitude for a successful harvest resonates universally. The concept of a bountiful harvest extends beyond literal crops. It can represent the culmination of personal projects, the fruition of long-term goals, or the rewarding outcome of dedicated effort in any sphere of life. Just as the farmer waits patiently for the rice to ripen, we too must often nurture our endeavors with perseverance, trusting that our efforts will eventually yield positive results. Autumn, therefore, becomes a powerful metaphor for achieving success and reaping the rewards of our labor. In essence, autumn is a season of profound significance. It is a time when the earth's generosity is most evident, when the fruits of labor are gathered, and when nature prepares for its annual slumber. It embodies the universal themes of completion, gratitude, and renewal. The cool breezes, the golden fields, and the vibrant foliage all contribute to a sense of peace and abundance. As we witness the rice grains waiting patiently for the harvest, we are reminded of the enduring cycles of life, the importance of perseverance, and the timeless beauty of the natural world. What lessons does the cyclical nature of autumn teach us about patience and the inevitable rewards of our efforts? Autumn's embrace, a symphony of harvest, color, and gentle transition. As the vibrant energy of summer begins to wane, a new season, autumn, gracefully steps onto the stage, painting the world in hues of warmth and ushering in a period of bounty and subtle transformation. This is a time when the earth generously yields its fruits, a testament to the cycles of nature and the timeless rhythm of the agricultural year. From every corner, in gardens and orchards alike, baskets overflow with the rich bounty of harvested fruits and vegetables. The vibrant greens of summer crops gradually give way to the earthy tones of pumpkins, squash, and root vegetables. Apples, round and rosy, are carefully picked from branches, their crisp sweetness a delightful contrast to the fading warmth of the sun. Grapes hang heavy on their vines, waiting to be transformed into juice or wine, carrying the essence of the summer sun within their skins. This abundance is a profound reminder of the earth's fertility, a reward for the diligent labor of farmers and gardeners, and a promise of nourishment for the colder months ahead. Accompanying this visual feast is an olfactory delight. The rich, earthy scent of damp soil mingles with the sweet, intoxicating aroma of ripening produce. After a summer of growth, the earth itself seems to exhale, releasing a deep, loamy fragrance that speaks of ancient cycles and fertile ground. This primal scent is interwoven with the distinct perfumes of the harvest. The tangy sweetness of apples, the subtle earthiness of freshly dug potatoes, the musky scent of gourds, all these fragrances create a symphony of aromas that are uniquely autumnal. It's a scent that evokes feelings of comfort, security, and a deep connection to the natural world, a scent that has been associated with harvest and sustenance for millennia. Beyond the physical sensations, autumn brings a profound visual transformation. The leaves, once a uniform green, begin their magnificent metamorphosis, turning shades of gold, crimson, and fiery orange. This breathtaking display is a gentle farewell from the trees as they prepare for their winter slumber. Each leaf, a tiny masterpiece, undergoes a chemical change, revealing hidden pigments that were always present but masked by the dominant chlorophyll of summer. This vibrant spectrum paints landscapes in an unparalleled beauty, inviting contemplation and wonder. Then, with a gentle sigh, these magnificent leaves begin their descent. They slowly detach from their branches, caught by the soft breath of the wind, and drift gracefully downwards. This seemingly simple act is imbued with a quiet poetry. Each leaf's journey from branch to ground is a dance of release, a surrender to the inevitable cycle of decay and renewal. They don't fall abruptly but rather float, twirl, and sometimes even cling for a moment longer, as if reluctant to let go of their summer home. As they touch down, they create a multicolored carpet that blankets the earth. This vibrant mosaic of gold, red, and brown transforms pathways, forests, and gardens into magical realms. Walking through these fallen leaves, hearing their crisp rustle underfoot, is a sensory experience that connects us to the very essence of the season. It's a reminder of the ephemerality of beauty, but also of its constant rebirth. This natural tapestry provides vital nutrients back to the soil, ensuring the continued cycle of life for the following spring. Intertwined with these visual and olfactory changes is the gentle whisper of the wind, carrying with it a distinct chill. Unlike the fierce gales of winter or the warm breezes of summer, the autumn wind is often a soft, lingering presence. It rustles through the remaining leaves, creating a soothing, almost melancholic sound. It carries the scent of wood smoke from distant chimneys, a subtle hint of the colder days to come. This gentle chill, while signaling the approach of winter, is not harsh. Instead, it invites us to seek warmth, to gather indoors, and to appreciate the cozy comforts of home. It encourages reflection, a slowing down after the bustling activity of summer, and a turning inward as the natural world prepares for rest. Autumn, therefore, is not merely a transitional period between summer and winter. It is a season unto itself, rich with its own unique character and profound beauty. It is a time of gratitude for the harvest, of awe at nature's artistry, and of quiet contemplation as the world prepares for its dormancy. It reminds us of the constant ebb and flow of life, the inevitable cycles of growth, decay, and renewal. And in its gentle embrace, we find a sense of peace and a deep appreciation for the enduring beauty of our planet. Autumn's embrace, preparing for winter in medieval times. Even as the vibrant hues of summer lingered, a distinct shift in the air signaled the approaching chill. For the common folk of the Middle Ages, autumn wasn't merely a season of changing leaves. It was a critical period of meticulous preparation for the harsh realities of winter. This was a time when survival depended on foresight and industriousness, a delicate balance between enjoying the abundance of the harvest and diligently gathering resources for the lean months ahead. One of the most fundamental and visible signs of this autumnal endeavor was the gathering of firewood. As the days grew shorter and the mornings crisp, families would embark on what was often a collective effort to secure their fuel supply for the coming cold. This wasn't a task to be taken lightly. A lack of firewood meant not just discomfort, but a genuine threat to life. The process was methodical, almost ritualistic. Dry logs were carefully selected, not just any piece of wood, but those that had seasoned well, promising a clean, efficient burn. People would venture into the forests, often communal lands, equipped with axes, saws, and strong backs. The search for deadfall, branches and trees that had fallen naturally, was preferred, as it required less effort than felling live timber and was often more accessible. Every sound resonated with purpose: the rhythmic thud of an axe, the snap of a breaking branch, the quiet rustle of leaves underfoot. Once gathered, the logs were transported back to the homesteads, often on rudimentary carts or carried by hand. There they were not simply dumped but stacked neatly beside the houses. This meticulous organization was more than just aesthetic. It allowed for proper air circulation, further drying the wood and preventing rot, ensuring that the fuel would last through the long winter. The sight of these ever-growing wood piles was a comforting one, a visual testament to a family's diligence and readiness. The sound of wood knocking together was a constant, steady accompaniment to daily life in the autumn. It wasn't a sound of urgency or panic, but rather one of calm, unhurried determination. Each clunk and clatter echoed a deeper rhythm. The rhythm of a community working in unison, responding to the innate dictates of nature. There was no rush because preparation was an ongoing process, a continuous effort that began as soon as the first signs of autumn appeared and continued until the ground froze solid. This steady pace reflected a deep understanding of natural cycles and a pragmatic approach to survival. Indeed, medieval autumn was primarily a time of harvest. The bounty of the fields, grains, vegetables, fruits, was brought in with immense effort. Every kernel of wheat, every apple, every root vegetable was precious. This was a period of intense labor, but also of great communal celebration, as the fruits of months of toil were finally realized. Barns filled with grain, root cellars became treasure troves of sustenance, and preserves were made to last through the lean months. Beyond the physical labor, autumn was also a season of subtle preparation for the soul. As the days grew shorter and the light softened, there was a palpable shift in the atmosphere. The frantic pace of summer field work began to slow, replaced by a gentle stillness before the onset of the cold months. This quietude was not one of inactivity, but of reflection and inner gathering. Families spent more time indoors, mending tools, weaving textiles, telling stories, and simply being together. It was a time to consolidate resources, not just physical ones, but also social and emotional bonds, which would be crucial for enduring the isolation of winter. The shorter days also meant a decrease in outdoor activities and an increase in evening gatherings around the hearth. This fostered a strong sense of community and familial closeness. Stories were told, skills were passed down, and lessons were learned, all under the flickering light of a dwindling fire, fueled by the very wood that had been so painstakingly gathered. In an era without modern conveniences like central heating or supermarkets, every aspect of life was intrinsically linked to the seasons. Winter was a formidable adversary, threatening hunger, illness, and death. Therefore, the thorough preparations of autumn were not just practical necessities. They were acts of survival, imbued with a profound understanding of nature's power and humanity's resilience. The careful stacking of firewood, the rhythmic sounds of labor, the abundance of the harvest, and the quiet introspection, all these elements combined to define the medieval autumn. It was a season of transition, a period of intense work followed by a serene lull, a final breath of warmth and light before the long, cold embrace of winter. This annual cycle, repeated for centuries, shaped not just the physical landscape but also the very fabric of medieval society, instilling values of hard work, foresight, and community spirit that resonated through generations. It was a testament to the enduring power of humanity to adapt, to prepare, and to find beauty and purpose even in the face of nature's challenges. How do you think these ancient practices compare to modern preparations for winter? Winter's embrace, a village dormant, a hearth ablaze. As autumn's vibrant palette gracefully yields to winter's monochrome, the entire village is enveloped in a pristine white blanket of snow. This isn't an abrupt, violent descent, but rather a gentle, slow snowfall, each flake a delicate whisper from the heavens, accumulating steadily until every surface is softened, every edge rounded by a thick, downy covering. The world outside transforms into a hushed, ethereal landscape, where familiar contours are reimagined under a fresh, undisturbed layer of white. It's a silence that isn't empty, but rather pregnant with the subtle murmurs of the season. The faint rustle of snow settling, the distant hoot of an owl, the crisp crunch of footsteps on an untouched path. The air outside becomes sharply cold, biting at exposed skin, invigorating yet demanding respect. It carries the clean scent of ice and pine, a stark contrast to the earthy aromas of autumn. Trees, stripped bare of their leaves, stand like skeletal sentinels, their branches delicately outlined with frost, glittering like crystalline sculptures under the pale winter sun or the soft glow of moonlight. The ground, now a vast expanse of unblemished white, seems to absorb all sound, creating an almost magical stillness that encourages introspection and a profound sense of peace. Children, undeterred by the cold, often emerge, their laughter echoing crisply as they engage in snowball fights or build snowmen, their rosy cheeks a testament to their joyful abandon. The very act of breathing in the frigid air feels cleansing, sharpening the senses and making one acutely aware of the present moment. Yet, amidst this icy grandeur, there exists a profound counterpoint, the warmth radiating from within the homes. Inside these dwellings, a different kind of life unfolds, one defined by coziness, intimacy, and the comforting glow of the hearth. The transition from the biting cold outside to the welcoming warmth within is a sensory experience in itself, a sudden embrace of comfort, a tangible shift from the exposed elements to a sheltered haven. The thick walls and sturdy roofs of the village houses become fortresses against the winter's chill, protecting their inhabitants and fostering a sense of security. The heart of these homes during winter is undoubtedly the fireplace. Its flickering flames cast dancing shadows across the walls, painting the rooms with a dynamic, living light that banishes the starkness of winter. The crackle and pop of burning logs provide a rhythmic, soothing soundtrack, a lullaby that underscores the peacefulness of the scene. The aroma of wood smoke, earthy and slightly sweet, permeates the air, a scent deeply ingrained in the memory of countless generations, evoking feelings of safety and contentment. It's a scent that promises hot drinks, shared stories, and the quiet comfort of companionship. Gathered around the fire, families find solace and connection. This is the time for storytelling, for quiet contemplation, for knitting and mending, for simply being together in the warmth. Hot beverages, steaming mugs of spiced cider, rich cocoa, or fragrant tea, become indispensable, warming hands and souls alike. Blankets are pulled close, pets curl up by the embers, and the rush of daily life gives way to a slower, more deliberate pace. The harshness of the outside world seems to melt away, replaced by an overwhelming sense of peace and belonging. It's a period of gentle hibernation, a time for recharging and rekindling internal warmth in preparation for the eventual return of spring. For many, winter's snow-covered landscape and the warmth of the hearth evoke a powerful feeling of nostalgia, conjuring images of childhood holidays and cherished traditions. The crisp, clean air and the quiet beauty of the snow-covered world encourage moments of reflection, a chance to pause and appreciate the simple joys of life. It's a season that forces us to slow down, to turn inward, and to cherish the warmth of human connection. The sharp contrast between the biting cold outside and the comforting warmth within creates a unique dynamic, highlighting the preciousness of shelter and the profound comfort found in a well-loved home. The village, wrapped in its snowy slumber, transforms into a postcard-perfect scene, a tableau of tranquility. Even the smallest details contribute to this picture. The gentle plume of smoke rising from chimneys, signifying life and warmth within. The soft glow of lamplight escaping through windows, hinting at the quiet activity inside. The occasional solitary figure trudging through the fresh snow, leaving behind a temporary trail. Winter in the village is not just a season. It's an experience, a feeling, a deep-seated sense of peace that permeates every aspect of life. It's a time when the external world slows down, allowing the internal world to blossom, nurtured by the steadfast glow of the hearth and the silent beauty of the snow. Do you have any specific memories or feelings that come to mind when you think about winter? Winter's embrace, a medieval household in the chill. In the biting cold of medieval winters, life retreated indoors. The vibrant hum of daily life outside gave way to a quieter, more intimate rhythm within the confines of homes and castles. Every activity revolved around the hearth, the very heart of the medieval dwelling, where the life-giving warmth of fire held dominion over the encroaching chill. It was a season of introspection, practicality, and community, dictated by the relentless grip of the cold. The most defining sound of those frigid days was the steady crackle and roar of the fire in the hearth. This wasn't merely background noise, it was the dominant symphony of survival. Each pop and hiss, each dancing flame, provided not just physical warmth but also a profound sense of security and comfort against the harsh, unforgiving world outside. The flickering light cast dancing shadows on the walls, transforming ordinary rooms into realms of cozy intimacy. Families gathered close, their faces illuminated by the amber glow, finding solace in the shared warmth and the rhythmic cadence of the burning logs. It was a primal sound, deeply ingrained in the human experience, signifying protection, sustenance, and the enduring spirit of life even in the face of nature's formidable power. With the biting winds and snow rendering outdoor work impossible or impractical, the medieval populace shifted their focus to indoor pursuits. This was a time for meticulous craftsmanship and essential upkeep. The long, dark hours were ideally suited for tasks that required patience, precision, and a steady hand. Weaving was a fundamental activity not just for warmth but for survival. Women and sometimes men would sit for hours at the loom, their shuttle flying back and forth, transforming raw wool or flax into practical fabric for clothing, blankets, and household linens. The rhythmic clatter of the loom, combined with the gentle hum of the spinning wheel, would fill the air, a testament to their industriousness. Each thread woven was a tiny victory against the cold, a step towards comfort and self-sufficiency. Sewing and mending were equally vital. Garments, worn thin from months of labor, needed repair to last another season. Tiers were patched, seams reinforced, and old clothes often repurposed into new items, ensuring nothing went to waste. This wasn't a leisure activity, it was an economic necessity. Every stitch was a deliberate act of conservation, extending the life of precious resources. The meticulous nature of these tasks demanded focus, turning what might seem mundane into a meditative practice. Beyond textiles, the winter months were also dedicated to repairing and maintaining tools and household items. Wooden implements, leather goods, and even simple furniture might be taken apart, cleaned, and reassembled. Blades would be sharpened, handles replaced, and small repairs made to ensure everything was in good working order for the return of spring and the resumption of outdoor chores. These tasks were often communal, with family members or even neighbors collaborating, sharing knowledge and resources. Every movement was slow and deliberate, unhurried by the demands of a warmer season. There was no rush, no frantic pace. The pace of life was dictated by the natural world, by the limited daylight hours and the need to conserve energy. This unhurried rhythm fostered a deep sense of presence and mindfulness. People had more time for conversation, storytelling, and sharing news. Children learned practical skills by observing their elders, absorbing the wisdom passed down through generations. This was a period of consolidation, of preparing for the bounty of the coming seasons. The absence of haste during these months was not a sign of idleness, but rather a profound understanding of efficiency and resource management. Rushing would only lead to mistakes, wasted materials, and unnecessary exertion in an environment where both were precious. The deliberate nature of their actions reflected a deep respect for their craft and the resources they possessed. It also highlighted a community-oriented existence, where shared labor and mutual support were paramount. Furthermore, winter was a time for intellectual and spiritual pursuits, to the extent possible. For those who were literate, reading by the fire's glow offered a rare opportunity for study and contemplation. Scribes might copy manuscripts, artists might hone their skills, and scholars might delve into ancient texts. Even for the illiterate majority, storytelling and the recounting of oral traditions were crucial for entertainment and the preservation of culture. Legends, myths, and historical accounts were passed down through generations, strengthening communal bonds and providing a form of indoor entertainment during the long, dark evenings. The medieval winter was not merely a period of inactivity, it was a season of purposeful indoor existence. It shaped routines, fostered resilience, and strengthened the fabric of family and community. The roaring fire was more than just a source of heat, it was a symbol of life, a beacon of hope against the bleakness. And the deliberate, unhurried pace of indoor activities underscored a deep connection to the rhythms of nature, a practical wisdom that allowed medieval people not just to survive, but to thrive in the face of winter's formidable embrace. It reminds us that even in the most challenging conditions, humanity finds ways to adapt, to create, and to endure, always cherishing the warmth and safety of home. The medieval winter, a tapestry of stillness and anticipation. Outside the window, snow continued to fall softly, creating a scene of profound stillness. This tranquil descent of crystalline flakes was not merely a meteorological event. It was a profound characteristic of winter in the Middle Ages, a period defined by rest, deep quietude, and a deliberate slowing of life. Everything seemed to pause, held in a delicate suspension, as if awaiting the inevitable return of a new cycle of existence. This wasn't just a cold season, it was a fundamental shift in the rhythm of life. For medieval communities, winter was a time of necessity and adaptation. The harshness of the elements dictated much of their daily existence, forcing them indoors, compelling them to conserve resources, and fostering a unique sense of communal reliance. Unlike the bustling activity of spring and summer, when fields were tilled, crops harvested, and trade routes active, winter imposed a quietude that resonated deeply with the very fabric of medieval society. The falling snow itself was a constant, gentle reminder of this transition. It wasn't the violent blizzards that sometimes swept across the land, but rather a persistent, soft snowfall that gradually transformed the landscape into a blanket of white. Each flake, unique and fragile, contributed to a growing stillness, muffling sounds and creating an almost ethereal atmosphere. The familiar world was rendered unfamiliar, softened and simplified by the pristine layer of white. Pathways vanished, trees became skeletal silhouettes adorned with frosty lace, and the distant sounds of human activity were muted, almost swallowed by the vast, silent expanse. This visual quietude was mirrored by an internal one. Life in medieval villages and castles was fundamentally altered. Agricultural work, the backbone of the economy, ceased almost entirely. Fields lay fallow, covered by snow, patiently awaiting the thaw. Livestock, if not slaughtered for preservation, were brought into barns and shelters, their needs a constant concern for their human caretakers. The focus shifted from outward production to inward sustenance and survival. Within the humble dwellings and grand castles alike, the focus turned inwards. Families huddled around crackling hearths, their lives illuminated by the flickering flames. The fire was not just a source of warmth, it was the heart of the home, a beacon against the pervasive cold and darkness. It was a place for stories to be told, for mended tools, for preparing meager but vital meals, and for the simple comfort of human closeness. The long nights, accentuated by the lack of artificial light, were spent in ways that fostered community and passed down traditions. Winter was a time for mending and preparation. Tools and equipment, worn from a season of hard labor, were repaired. Clothing was patched and supplies were carefully rationed. It was a period of introspection and planning, a necessary pause before the renewed efforts of spring. For the common folk, this might involve carving wood, weaving cloth, or repairing thatch on their homes. For the nobility, it might involve administrative tasks, planning for future campaigns, or simply enjoying the enforced leisure, perhaps engaging in indoor pursuits like chess or reading if literacy allowed. Crucially, this period of stillness wasn't viewed as stagnation, but as a necessary phase in the cyclical nature of life. Medieval people lived in close communion with the natural world, understanding its rhythms intimately. They knew that the dormancy of winter was not an end, but a precursor to the rebirth of spring. Just as the land needed to rest and replenish, so too did human bodies and spirits. This understanding imbued the season with a sense of hopeful anticipation, even amidst the hardships. The deep quietude of winter also had a profound spiritual dimension. For a deeply religious society, the cold, dark days offered an opportunity for reflection and contemplation. Many religious festivals and observances took place during the winter months, providing solace and strengthening faith. The long nights encouraged indoor gatherings for prayer, storytelling, and the sharing of traditions, binding communities together in the face of adversity. The stories of saints and miracles often took on heightened significance in the flickering light of a winter hearth. Even the soundscape of medieval winter was unique. The usual sounds of daily life, the clatter of wagons, the shouts of merchants, the singing of field workers, were largely absent. Instead, one might hear the creaking of timber in the wind, the howl of a distant wolf, the occasional call of an owl, or the gentle whisper of the wind through bare branches. These sounds, often subtle and understated, contributed to the pervasive sense of quietude, allowing the mind to wander and reflect. In essence, medieval winter was a testament to resilience and the profound human connection to natural cycles. It was a time of hardship, certainly, but also a time of vital rest, of communal strengthening, and of a quiet, unwavering anticipation for the vibrant life that lay dormant beneath the blanket of snow. It was a period where the very slowness of life allowed for a deeper appreciation of existence, a waiting, a preparation, and a fundamental trust in the inevitable return of warmth and growth. The softly falling snow outside the window was not just frozen water. It was the silent architect of this essential, enduring period of medieval life. The enduring rhythm of medieval society, a tapestry woven with earth and labor. In the seemingly static tableau of the medieval village, there existed a social structure as simple as it was enduring. At its core were the peasants, whose very existence was inextricably linked to the land. Their lives unfolded in a continuous, arduous rhythm, a testament to their unwavering dedication to the vast open fields that stretched out before them. Their labor, a monotonous yet vital dance, followed the relentless cycle of the seasons, day in and day out, year after year. This profound connection to the earth was not merely an economic necessity, it was a spiritual bond, a fundamental aspect of their identity. For the medieval peasant, the land was provider, teacher, and taskmaster. It dictated their routines, shaped their outlook, and ultimately determined their fate. Unlike the complex, fast-paced societies of today, medieval life was governed by the sun, the rain, and the frost. The turning of the earth, the sprouting of seeds, and the ripening of harvests were not just agricultural events. They were the beats of life's drum, marking time and shaping destiny. The vastness of the fields was both a blessing and a burden. On one hand, it promised sustenance, a chance to eke out a living, however meager. On the other, it demanded an immense amount of physical toil, a relentless struggle against the elements and the unforgiving nature of the soil. Equipped with simple tools, the plow, the hoe, the sickle, they toiled from dawn till dusk, their bodies aching, their hands calloused, their faces weathered by sun and wind. This was not merely work, it was a symphony of human effort, a collective endeavor that sustained not only themselves but also the lords, the clergy, and the sparse urban centers of the age. The seasonal cycle was the undisputed master of their lives. Spring brought the arduous task of plowing and sowing, a period of intense hope and anticipation. The earth, softened by winter rains, would be turned over, preparing for the seeds that held the promise of future meals. This was a time of communal effort, where families and neighbors often worked side by side, sharing the burden and the hope. Summer, with its long sun-drenched days, meant tending the crops, weeding and protecting them from pests and disease. It was a period of vigilant care, where the success of the harvest hung in the balance. Then came autumn, the moment of truth, the harvest. This was the culmination of months of back-breaking labor, a time of both intense exertion and joyous celebration. Grain was cut, gathered, and threshed. Grapes were picked for wine, and root vegetables were dug from the earth. The success of the harvest directly impacted their survival through the harsh winter months. A bountiful harvest meant relative security, while a poor one could lead to famine and hardship. Winter, in contrast, brought a much-needed respite from field work, though it was far from a time of idleness. Repairs to tools and homes were made, animals were cared for, and indoor crafts like spinning and weaving provided additional necessities. This cyclical existence instilled in them a deep sense of patience, resilience, and an acceptance of natural forces beyond their control. Beyond the fields, the medieval village was a microcosm of society, a tightly knit community where everyone had a role to play. While peasants formed the overwhelming majority, there were also craftsmen, blacksmiths, carpenters, weavers, who provided essential goods and services. The local church, often the most imposing building in the village, served not only as a place of worship but also as a social hub, a center for community gatherings, celebrations, and even rudimentary education. The priest, often the most educated person in the village, held significant moral and social authority. Despite the apparent simplicity, the medieval social structure was not without its complexities. The feudal system tied peasants to the land and to their lords, to whom they owed labor services, rents in kind, and various feudal dues. This arrangement, while providing a degree of protection and order, also limited their freedom and opportunities for social mobility. Their lives were largely circumscribed by the boundaries of their village and the dictates of their lord. Yet, within these constraints, peasants developed a profound sense of community and mutual support. Shared hardship fostered strong bonds. Neighbors relied on each other for assistance during peak labor seasons, for comfort in times of sorrow, and for celebration during festivals. Life was challenging, often brutal, but it was also lived in close communion with nature and with fellow human beings. The simplicity of medieval society, therefore, was not a lack of complexity, but rather a different kind of complexity, one rooted in natural cycles, collective effort, and a deep reverence for the land. The rhythm of the seasons, the tireless work of the peasants, and the enduring social bonds formed the bedrock of a civilization that, despite its apparent primitiveness, laid the foundations for the societies that would follow. Their quiet, persistent labor on those vast fields was not just about growing food, it was about sustaining a way of life, a culture, and a legacy that continues to echo through the corridors of history. The rhythm of craftsmanship, a medieval village's heartbeat. In the bustling yet serene heart of a medieval village, life pulsed with a rhythm dictated by the seasons and the diligent hands of its inhabitants. Far from the grand castles and the sprawling battlefields often depicted in tales, the true essence of medieval existence lay in the humble workshops of its craftsmen. These weren't just occupations. They were lifeblood, connecting individuals to their communities and to the very earth beneath their feet. Among these essential figures were the carpenters and the blacksmiths, whose skills were not merely trades but intricate arts passed down through generations. Their workshops, often rustic yet always functional, were the very core of village productivity. Here, under the watchful eyes of their apprentices, they meticulously crafted the myriad objects essential for daily life, shaping the very fabric of existence in an era before mass production. The soundscape of the village was often punctuated by the gentle rhythmic tapping of hammers and the deliberate slow rasp of saws. These weren't jarring noises but rather a harmonious symphony of dedication and unwavering effort. Each tap of the hammer against wood, each scrape of the saw blade through timber, spoke of precision and purpose. There was no rush, no frantic energy, only a steady, measured pace that reflected the meticulous nature of their craft. For the carpenter, their work began with raw timber, often harvested from the surrounding forests. Each log, with its unique grain and knots, presented both a challenge and an opportunity. With skill and patience, they would transform these rough materials into everything from sturdy house frames and intricate roof trusses to simple stools, tables, and finely carved chests. The very homes that sheltered the villagers, the carts that transported their goods, and the tools they used for farming, all bore the indelible mark of the carpenter's hand. The slow, deliberate cutting of wood wasn't just about shaping. It was about understanding the material, anticipating its reactions, and coaxing out its inherent strength and beauty. Every joint was carefully measured, every piece precisely fitted, ensuring durability and longevity in a world where repairs were common but replacements were rare. Adjacent to the carpenter's shop, often resonating with a deeper, more resonant clang, was the blacksmith's forge. Here, amidst the dancing flames and the hiss of cooling metal, the blacksmith was a master of transformation. Iron, a stubborn and unyielding element, was coerced into submission through the intense heat of the forge and the powerful blows of the hammer. The reverberating strike of hammer against anvil was a constant reminder of the raw power and immense skill involved. From simple nails and hinges that held homes together, to plows that broke the stubborn earth, and even the occasional sword or shield for a lord or a knight, the blacksmith's creations were indispensable. Each piece was hammered into shape, heated, folded, and hammered again, often multiple times, to achieve the desired strength and form. The work demanded not only immense physical strength but also a profound understanding of metallurgy, how metal reacted to heat, how it could be manipulated, and how to temper it for maximum resilience. The repetition of their work, striking the metal while it was hot, was not monotonous but meditative, a dance between human will and the unyielding nature of iron. The lives of these craftsmen were intrinsically linked to meticulousness and unyielding patience. In a world without automated machinery, every single product, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, was the result of hours of concentrated effort and unwavering attention to detail. There were no shortcuts, no quick fixes. A poorly made tool could break at a crucial moment, a weak timber could compromise a structure, and a poorly tempered blade could fail in battle. Therefore, the reputation of a craftsman rested entirely on the quality and durability of their output. This dedication to quality fostered a deep sense of pride in their work. Each finished piece was not just an item for trade, it was a testament to their skill, their artistry, and their commitment. This pride was often evident in the subtle decorative flourishes they might add, or the distinctive mark they might leave on their creations, a personal signature in an age where individual craftsmanship was highly valued. Beyond the tangible products, the work of these artisans contributed significantly to the social fabric of the village. They were respected members of the community, their skills often forming the backbone of the local economy. Their workshops served as informal gathering places, where news was exchanged, stories were told, and a sense of shared purpose was reinforced. The apprentice system, where young boys would learn the trade from masters, ensured the continuation of these vital skills, passing down not just techniques but also the ethos of dedication and meticulousness. In essence, the rhythmic sounds emanating from the carpenters' and blacksmiths' workshops were more than just noise. They were the heartbeat of the medieval village. They symbolized resilience, ingenuity, and the timeless human drive to create, to build, and to sustain. Their persistent, repetitive work was the silent, unyielding force that shaped the physical world of their time, laying the groundwork for future generations and reminding us of the profound value of skilled hands and a patient spirit. The silent symphony of medieval society, a world of interconnected rhythms. Stepping back in time beyond the humble dwellings of peasants, we encounter the imposing silhouette of a small castle, often perched atop a hill, a clear declaration of power and authority. This was the heart of the feudal system, the residence of the lord, the epicenter from which control radiated over the surrounding lands and the lives of those who worked them. Their existence, too, followed its own distinct rhythms, intrinsically tied to the management of land and people, a meticulous dance of administration, justice, and defense. The lord's daily life was a complex tapestry woven with threads of responsibility. Unlike the peasants, whose days were dictated by the sun and the seasons, the lord's schedule was shaped by the need to maintain order, secure their domain, and extract resources. Their mornings might begin with meetings concerning agricultural yields, tenant disputes, or the security of their borders. Afternoons could be spent inspecting fortifications, overseeing the training of their retinue, or presiding over court to dispense justice. Evenings often involved strategic discussions with advisors, planning for hunts, or engaging in courtly entertainments that served to solidify alliances and display wealth. The rhythm of their lives was one of strategic oversight and continuous vigilance, ensuring the smooth operation of their miniature kingdom. While the lord held sway, their power was not absolute and their existence was not entirely detached. Their well-being was inextricably linked to the prosperity of their tenants and the productivity of their land. A bountiful harvest meant more resources for the lord, while a struggling peasantry could lead to unrest and a decline in their own fortunes. This interdependence, though often unstated, created a subtle yet profound connection between the lord and their subjects. Despite the stark differences in their roles and daily routines, each social stratum existed side by side, forming a remarkably resilient system. The feudal hierarchy, from the monarch at the apex to the serfs at the base, was not merely a rigid chain of command but a complex web of reciprocal obligations and responsibilities. The king granted land to the lords in exchange for military service and loyalty. The lords in turn granted land to their vassals and knights, demanding fealty and protection. And at the bottom, the peasants worked the land, providing food and labor in exchange for protection and a place to live. Crucially, in the idealized vision of this medieval society, there was no deafening roar of conflict between these disparate groups. Instead, there was a silent presence of each role, each fulfilling its designated function, contributing to the overall stability of medieval society. This is not to say that disputes or grievances were absent. Human nature dictates otherwise. However, the prevailing ethos of the time, reinforced by religious teachings and established tradition, emphasized order, duty, and the acceptance of one's place within the divine plan. Each individual, from the humblest serf to the mightiest king, was seen as a vital cog in the larger machinery of society, a machinery ordained by God. This silent presence implied a general acceptance of the social order. Peasants understood their role was to toil the land, providing sustenance for all. Knights were expected to protect, upholding justice and defending the realm. Clerics were tasked with spiritual guidance and preserving knowledge. And lords were responsible for governing, ensuring peace and prosperity within their domain. This mutual understanding, even if imperfect, was a cornerstone of medieval stability. The absence of widespread overt conflict, at least on a daily internal level, can be attributed to several factors. Firstly, the strong influence of the Church played a significant role in promoting social harmony and discouraging rebellion. Religious doctrines often emphasized obedience to authority and the virtues of humility and acceptance. Secondly, the inherent logic of the feudal system itself, with its intricate network of reciprocal obligations, provided a framework for resolving disputes and maintaining order. Lords provided protection and in return, peasants provided labor. This quid pro quo, though often unequal, formed the basis of their relationship. Thirdly, the lack of widespread communication and organized resistance among the lower classes made large-scale uprisings difficult to orchestrate. Instead of grand, clashing narratives of class struggle, the medieval world often presented a more nuanced picture of interdependence and tacit cooperation. The lord relied on the peasant's labor to generate wealth. The peasant relied on the lord's protection from bandits and invading forces. This symbiosis, though far from egalitarian, forged a connection that transcended mere economic exchange. It was a shared existence, bound by the land and the prevailing social norms. In essence, medieval society, with its distinct social strata and seemingly rigid hierarchy, functioned like a finely tuned orchestra, each instrument playing its part to create a harmonious, albeit often somber, symphony. The castle, the fields, the church, each element contributed to the overall rhythm, a rhythm of continuity and tradition, quietly unfolding beneath the vast expanse of the medieval sky. This silent but pervasive understanding of roles and responsibilities, rather than constant upheaval, was the bedrock upon which medieval society for centuries stood firm. How did this silent presence shape the daily lives and long-term aspirations of individuals within each medieval social class? The rhythmic stability of medieval life, a tapestry woven by time and repetition. Life in the Middle Ages, often perceived through the lens of dramatic events and tumultuous change, paradoxically embraced a profound beauty in its stability and cyclical nature. Unlike our modern world, which thrives on constant innovation and rapid shifts, medieval existence was characterized by a deep connection to timeless rhythms. It was a period where the passage of time was not a frantic race but a steady, deliberate flow, much like grains of sand meticulously sifting through an hourglass. Each day, each season, each year, brought with it a predictable cadence, a quiet symphony of repetition that shaped every aspect of human experience. This inherent stability was not a stagnation but a testament to a society deeply rooted in its environment and traditions. Without the rapid technological advancements that define later eras, medieval communities found their rhythm in the unwavering cycles of nature. The sun rose and set, the moon waxed and waned, and the seasons followed an immutable progression. This cosmic dance served as the ultimate clock, dictating daily routines, agricultural practices, and even social gatherings. The circularity of the four seasons was arguably the most dominant force in medieval life. Spring, with its gentle thaw and burgeoning life, signaled the time for planting, for hopeful anticipation of a bountiful harvest. Summer brought the arduous labor of tending fields under the generous sun, a period of intense activity and communal effort. Autumn, the season of reaping and gathering, was a time for celebration and thanksgiving, marking the culmination of months of toil. Finally, winter descended, a period of introspection, scarcity, and survival, when communities huddled together, relying on stored provisions and the warmth of their hearths. This annual ebb and flow was not merely a backdrop. It was the very heartbeat of existence, dictating food supply, economic activity, and even the emotional landscape of the people. Their lives were inextricably linked to the earth's bounty, and understanding its rhythms was paramount for survival. Beyond the grand seasonal cycles, the repetition of daily tasks cemented this sense of predictability. From dawn to dusk, life was structured around a series of recurring chores and duties. For the vast majority, this meant agricultural labor: plowing, sowing, weeding, harvesting. Each task, while physically demanding, possessed a meditative quality, a rhythm established over generations. The miller ground grain, the blacksmith forged tools, the weaver spun thread, each profession an integral cog in the slow-turning machinery of medieval society. Even within the castle walls, life followed a prescribed routine. Daily prayers, meals at set times, the training of knights, the management of estates. This predictability offered a sense of security and continuity, a comforting counterbalance to the ever-present threats of disease, famine, and conflict. This steady current of time, flowing calmly and uninterruptedly, fostered a strong sense of community and shared purpose. With lives so intertwined with the natural world and dependent on collective effort, people developed deep bonds. Celebrations and festivals, often tied to the harvest or religious observances, reinforced these communal ties, providing moments of respite and shared joy within the predictable rhythm of daily life. The repetition of rituals, whether religious ceremonies or seasonal festivities, provided a comforting framework, a sense of belonging and identity within the larger social fabric. The lack of rapid change also meant that traditions held immense weight. Knowledge, skills, and values were passed down through generations, often through apprenticeship and direct observation. This oral and practical transmission ensured that techniques for farming, building, and crafting remained largely consistent for centuries. There was a respect for the old ways, a recognition that the wisdom of ancestors had guided them through countless seasons. This veneration of tradition further reinforced the sense of stability, providing a clear roadmap for living and interacting with the world. In essence, the medieval world, while lacking the dynamic shifts of later periods, possessed a unique form of dynamism, a dynamic of repetition and renewal. It was a society that found strength not in constant revolution but in the enduring patterns of nature and human endeavor. The steady current of time, marked by the turning of the seasons and the rhythm of daily toil, created a cohesive and remarkably resilient way of life. It was a period where predictability was not a burden but a source of comfort, allowing communities to flourish within the enduring embrace of a world that, in its most fundamental aspects, remained beautifully and reassuringly unchanged. Echoes of an unwritten past. Life and rhythm in a resilient society. The grand narratives of history often overlook the subtle intricacies of daily life, the unspoken stories of ordinary people. Their experiences, unlike those of kings and conquerors, weren't meticulously documented in voluminous tomes. Instead, the true essence of their existence was woven into the very fabric of their society, expressed through countless small actions, unspoken agreements, and the collective rhythm of a remarkably resilient community. This isn't to say their lives were devoid of hardship or struggle, but rather that their resilience stemmed from a deep-seated connection to their environment and to one another. Consider, for instance, the quiet dignity of their routines, dictated not by the relentless ticking of a clock, but by the natural ebb and flow of daylight and darkness. There was a profound harmony between human activity and the environment, a symbiotic relationship that ensured survival and fostered a sense of enduring stability. Each sunrise brought a new day of toil, a continuation of established practices passed down through generations. Farmers tended their fields, artisans crafted their wares, and families gathered for meals, all contributing to a collective existence where individual efforts were intrinsically linked to the well-being of the whole. The true chronicle of their lives lay not in parchment and ink, but in the enduring traditions they upheld, the skills they honed, and the values they cherished. It was reflected in the communal spirit of a harvest festival, where laughter and shared labor reinforced bonds of kinship and cooperation. It was evident in the careful preservation of ancient knowledge, whether in the art of building sturdy homes or the wisdom of medicinal herbs. These unwritten stories were etched into the landscape itself, in the well-worn paths connecting villages, the terraced fields carved into hillsides, and the enduring structures built with communal effort and shared purpose. Their lives unfolded within a framework of relative certainty, a predictability derived from close observation of the natural world and a deep respect for established norms. This wasn't a static existence, but one characterized by a steady, deliberate pace. Innovation likely occurred, but it was probably incremental, building upon what had been proven effective over time rather than pursuing radical, disruptive change. The focus was on sustainability, on ensuring that resources were managed wisely for the benefit of both current and future generations. As the stillness of night descended, it brought with it a palpable sense of security and regularity. The world outside might hold uncertainties, the unpredictable whims of nature, the occasional distant threat, but within the confines of their homes and communities, there was a profound sense of peace. The absence of artificial light meant that the rhythms of rest were dictated by the sun and moon, fostering a deeper connection to the cosmos. The sounds of the day, the clatter of tools, the murmur of voices, the rustling of leaves, slowly faded, replaced by the gentle symphony of the night, the chirping of crickets, the distant hoot of an owl, the rustle of wind through the trees. There was nothing to worry about, nothing to rush for. This wasn't a naive optimism, but rather a pragmatic acceptance of their place in the world. Their worries were likely immediate and tangible: the state of the crops, the health of their livestock, the well-being of their loved ones. But the overwhelming anxieties that plague modern society, the constant pursuit of more, the fear of missing out, the relentless pressure of time, were likely absent. Their lives were lived in the present, with a clear understanding of their purpose and their role within the community. The concept of time itself might have been experienced differently. Not as a scarce commodity to be meticulously managed and constantly optimized, but as a continuous flow, an endless cycle of seasons and generations. There was no need for the frantic pace that often characterizes contemporary life. Tasks were undertaken with deliberate care, reflecting the importance of craftsmanship and quality over speed and quantity. Conversations unfolded at a leisurely pace, allowing for genuine connection and the sharing of wisdom. This unhurried existence fostered a deep appreciation for simplicity. Entertainment wasn't sought in elaborate spectacles, but in the warmth of a shared meal, the storytelling around a crackling fire, or the beauty of a starlit sky. Relationships were paramount, built on mutual reliance and a shared sense of belonging. The community was their safety net, their support system, and their source of identity. Ultimately, the stories of these lives, though not meticulously recorded in grand volumes, are etched into the very essence of human experience. They speak of resilience, of a profound connection to the earth, and of the enduring power of community. They remind us that true well-being might not lie in endless accumulation or frenetic activity, but in the quiet strength of shared rhythms, the security of a stable world, and the profound peace that comes when there is indeed nothing to worry about, nothing to rush for. Their lives, though unwritten in the conventional sense, offer a compelling glimpse into a timeless way of being, a testament to the enduring human spirit in harmony with the natural world. The embrace of night, a journey into rest and rejuvenation. As the day gracefully bows out, giving way to the gentle embrace of night, it is a truly sacred moment to release everything. This is the prime time for your mind to find complete solace, to sink deeply into the tranquil depths of peaceful slumber. All the anxieties, all the busy engagements, and every single worry of the day have now receded into the past, leaving you free. Allow your body to relax completely, letting the profound peace of sleep envelop you. The transition from day to night is more than just a shift in light. It's a fundamental change in our state of being, a natural cue for the body and mind to decelerate. The frantic pace of daily life, with its endless demands and constant stimulation, often leaves us feeling drained and overwhelmed. It's during these precious evening hours that we are granted the opportunity to hit the reset button, to unwind, and to prepare for the essential process of rest. When we talk about letting go of everything, it's a profound call to mental and emotional liberation. Imagine your thoughts as leaves on a stream, flowing gently past you without needing to be clutched. The endless to-do lists, the unresolved conflicts, the nagging doubts, all these can be momentarily set aside. This isn't about ignoring responsibilities, but rather about creating a temporary sanctuary for your mind, a space where the noise of the external world can be silenced. This conscious act of detachment is crucial for fostering an environment conducive to deep and restorative sleep. For your mind to rest completely, it needs to disengage from the analytical, problem-solving modes that dominate our waking hours. This means resisting the urge to replay conversations, to plan extensively for tomorrow, or to dwell on any perceived shortcomings of the day. Instead, practice mindfulness by focusing on the present moment, the soft feel of your pillow, the rhythmic sound of your breath, or the subtle changes in ambient light. These simple anchors can help ground your mind and steer it away from the whirlpool of endless thinking. Allowing yourself to sink deeply into peaceful slumber is not just a passive act, it's an active surrender. It involves trusting that rest will come, even if it feels elusive at first. Many people struggle with sleep precisely because they try too hard to force it. Instead, cultivate a sense of gentle invitation. Create a sleep-friendly environment. Dim the lights, reduce noise, and ensure your bedroom is at a comfortable temperature. These small adjustments signal to your body that it's time to transition into a state of repose. The phrase, "all worries, all the busy engagements of the day have now receded into the past," serves as a powerful mantra. It reminds us that the past is immutable and the future is not yet here. The only moment we truly possess is now. By consciously acknowledging that the day's events are behind you, you can sever the emotional ties that keep your mind racing. This detachment is not about apathy. It's about intelligent self-care, recognizing that persistent rumination serves no productive purpose during this sacred time for rest. To truly let your body relax completely, engage in physical practices that promote deep relaxation. This could involve gentle stretching, progressive muscle relaxation, tensing and then releasing different muscle groups, or a warm bath. Pay attention to areas of tension, your shoulders, neck, jaw, and consciously soften them. Visualize every muscle fiber loosening, every nerve calming down. When your body is physically at ease, your mind often follows suit, making the journey to sleep much smoother. When peaceful sleep embraces you, it is a transformative experience. Sleep is not merely an absence of wakefulness. It's a vital biological process during which your body repairs itself, consolidates memories and processes emotions. It's the time when your immune system is strengthened, your energy stores are replenished, and your mental clarity is restored. Embracing sleep means recognizing its profound importance for your overall well-being. It's an investment in your health, your productivity, and your emotional resilience. So, as you prepare to cross the threshold into the realm of dreams, remember these words: good night. See you in your dreams. These aren't just polite farewells. They are affirmations of hope and continuity. Good night is a wish for peaceful rest, for a night free from disturbances. See you in your dreams carries a sense of connection, a subtle promise of reunion in the subconscious landscape where anything is possible. It's a beautiful way to end the day, fostering a sense of warmth and anticipation, rather than just a simple closing. Embrace this time for restoration. Let the worries fade, let your body unwind, and let your mind drift into the gentle currents of sleep. May your dreams be vivid, refreshing, and filled with wonder. If you're feeling relaxed, consider hitting the subscribe button on the HistoryNook channel and turning on notifications so you won't miss our next tranquil journeys. Or simply let this sound carry you deeper into a peaceful sleep. And now, as the stories of the rhythms of time, of the weather, and of medieval social hierarchies fade away, let your mind fully let go. Feel relaxation spreading throughout your body. Breathe steadily and gently drift into a peaceful sleep. Everything has been left behind. Sleep well. See you again in your dreams.